Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at ubnradio.com.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm your host, Wendi Cooper, and it's time to sit back, let go, and start living unfiltered. Yay! Oh, Kurt, it's nice to have you back.
Yes, how have you been?
I'm good. Long time, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. Tony's been here. Tony actually is Tony Sweet from here at UBN. He's actually a station owner, and he has a couple of shows. And Kurt,
Yes.
Tony's been taking, because Kurt, I think you have a crazy bunch before me now in the studio.
Yes, I do. It got a little crazy in here.
Yeah, but it's kind of wild, and it's nice to listen to them in here. I know that
Yeah.
you're one against many when you're in here.
Exactly.
So, what's new? How's the wife?
She's doing good. She's currently looking for new employment. So
Oh,
I was
she
helping her
is?
with her resume, yeah. She works at Kohl's currently, and
Uh-huh.
it's just
Not working for her.
not working. So
Well,
we're
you know what?
looking
This
around.
is the show.
Yeah.
You should text her
Yeah.
and tell her to tune into this show, because this is the show that will change her life.
Okay, I'll let her.
This is the show or she can watch it later on
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever, or on UBN.
And how would she find that on YouTube exactly?
On my YouTube station.
YouTube?
So
Okay.
I think it's called C-Spot Run Direct or something stupid. You just type in Wendi Cooper and it'll come up, because I have tons of shows there.
Okay.
All right, because it's awesome. So tonight it's so perfect that we started off that way. And how about
Yeah.
you? Are you like a happy camper? You work 2 jobs.
Yeah, I'm here, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I work at IKEA as well.
Yeah.
I'm just all over the place.
Yeah, you are. And you're newly married and
Exactly.
all that stuff. So anyway, all right. Well, tonight you are going to learn, just by proxy of sitting here.
Okay.
I'm switching from the few photos that we do have, because my guest is so amazing. I have listened to my guest's audiobook now since Saturday. I think I probably will hold the record for listening to Manifesting 123 by Ken Elliot in the shortest period of time. All right. And every time I listen to it, because I like audiobooks,
Yeah.
I hear something new and something different, or I'm really focusing in and I'm paying attention. So I'm very excited to have Ken here on the show. He is the author. He is actually the law of attraction expert, I would have to say. And you know The Secret, right? Do you remember? It's more ubiquitous when we talk about manifesting and the law of attraction, which was the movie The Secret. Or
I don't think I've.
no,
yeah.
I think you're too young.
Yeah.
You're always too young, Kurt. What's wrong with that?
Sorry.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's really about manifesting the things that you want in your life, and we can manifest them. As much as we don't think we can, we actually can. And sometimes we lose sight of the fact that we can do that, and the power of the energy and our thoughts do really manifest into either our dog shit life that we have or this beautiful life that we have. And so without any further ado, we're going to get Ken Elliot is joining us, I believe, from Colorado, and he is the author of Manifesting 123, is also an artist, but he is my newfound, I hope, really good friend, and I am so happy to have him on the show. So Ken, welcome to Living Unfiltered. Kurt's a little heavy on the applause for you tonight, Ken.
Am I running for office? There's a lot of people cheering.
We like a lot of people. How are you? Thank you for being here.
Doing wonderfully. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It's a real honor.
Well, it's a real honor to have you here, and it's very serendipitous how and why you are here. And I think that that's wonderful, because that's really the way life should be, is that, open yourself up to all of these wonderful things that can happen to you. And if you don't open yourself up, they're not going to happen. So anyway, welcome. And I would love to start, Ken, by you telling me a little bit more about yourself, so our audience knows about yourself.
All right. Well, I grew up in Texas, subsequently moved to San Francisco Bay Area when I was in my 30s, and I've been here in Colorado, just south of Denver, for the past 15 years or so. I'm a full-time artist, been painting for about 25 years. I'm the real deal. I have galleries all over the country, and Prince reproduced hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of uh, places that are showing my work as
They're
prints or
beautiful, by the
posters,
way.
and then a
Yes.
few with the originals. Every once in a while, you'll see me look over. I have an iPad over here where I can see what you're up to.
Yeah. We have a few pieces of your art, which I love. I adore. I'm an art freak, so I really love that type of art, especially.
Well, thank you. I've been fortunate that I've been mentored by one of the best artists in the world, the best colorists in the world, a man named Wolf Kahn. And I had a great business mentor, a man who just took me under his wing for whatever the reason. Very wealthy man, and we would have these little lunches every month, and he would just teach me about the world. That was interesting. And then I came across Judy Goodman, who is an incredibly gifted woman, the most gifted woman that I'm aware of in the West. The things that she does, it would take all day to tell you about. And thanks for showing those pictures. That's very nice.
Yeah, well, we'll probably show them again. I didn't have I didn't want to show them too small. Those Marianne had sent me because then they were larger resolution so that they would look really nice on camera.
Yeah.
So you met Judy Goodman, and she's wonderful. She's an intuitive, and from what I understand, and I can't wait to someday speak to her and meet her. She's a remarkable woman, and that really changed your life.
Yeah, and I grew up liking reading about psychics and that sort of thing. But I feel like Jimmy Olsen to Superman, and bless his heart, that guy that played that just died last week. Judy is someone who goes to the other side every night. Goes anywhere she wants to go and comes back with full memory most of those nights.
Oh, that's cool.
And during the day, she completely sees the other side. She doesn't have to get into a state. She sees things. She's not intuitive. She sees it.
Yes, she sees it. Yeah, I have another gentleman that I know really well, Mark Anthony. I don't know if you know of Mark Anthony.
I'm very close to Mark Anthony.
Yeah, so Mark is remarkable in that respect also.
Yeah. Judy has demonstrated some phenomenon that goes out of that realm. So that's been an eye-opener for me and friends of mine and people have been introduced to her. And I remember I was spending some time with Judy on the telephone, and a woman called me, a stranger, and said, "Do you know who she is?" And I said, "Well, yeah, she's a psychic." Judy hates that word. "She's a psychic." She said, No. She's much, much more than that. And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" And she said, well, if she told me a lot of things that Judy can do, which I knew about, you can give her an object or this thing or that thing, or you start to talk, she'll see the movie. That's a very fine gift, and on and on and on. And then she told me something I'd never heard before. She said, if you send Judy something in thought, she'll get it. And what do you mean? She said, well, Judy had a birthday last year, and I sent her a bouquet of flowers to the hotel that she was staying in, and called Judy the next day, and Judy received the flowers. She could see them in spirit.
Oh, so the person that sent them in thought.
In thought, which is their thought. And Judy received it and could see it in spirit. Well, I thought that's
different.
Unusual, weird, something.
Yeah.
And I spent enough time with Judy. If Judy said something was so, it was so. But we'd never discussed this. I would never imagine it. So she had a birthday coming up, as it turned out, in 2 days. And I said, tomorrow I'm going to send you, on your birthday, I'll send you something in thought. She said, well, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm going to think about it really hard, and then I'm going to send it to you. And she said, okay, well, let me help you with that. You're going to think about it, and because it's a gift, it's going to come out through your heart. She said, I'll get it every time. Well, I didn't have a clue what she really meant by that. It was some kind of subtlety. I don't know about subtleties, right? And so I decided that morning I'm going to do what Judy said, that I didn't have to be a creative. I didn't have to have a picture in front of me. Just think of the thing and give it a few seconds and let it go.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send her a simple yellow rose in a simple silver base. And I went to work on that. And long story short, it's all in the book. She got it. she got it. And,
But I read the book 3 times, or I listened to the book 3 times, so I know that she got it, but it was incredibly embellished.
yeah, so I sent her the thing. And by the way, what I did was, I just took a few seconds and I sent it 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Yellow rose, simple silver base. Okay, gone. And then I crammed it. And I went to work. I was worthless all the way up to lunch. I'm working on this rose thing. I came back. I crammed it and jammed it some more. And then I called Jude on the phone. I said, "Did you get the thing I sent?" And this is a spectacular thing she said. She said, "Well, hang on, I'm looking at the computer." Okay. She doesn't have to go into a state, but she's looking at a computer screen. She said, "In my office, there's all these people on the other side that know I'm having a birthday today, so they've sent me gifts. And there's people in the physical world, they know it's my birthday today, and they've sent me gifts as well. Now, they're all in spirit. We couldn't see them, but she can. She's not finely
I
tuned."
think that's so cool.
Yeah, yeah. And she said, "Yours is right up front," which implies we've known each other for a long time. We have. Well, I didn't care about that sentimental stuff. I want to know if you got the thing I sent. And I said, "What did you get?" And she said, "Was your intention to send me a yellow rose?" And I just choked up.
Mm.
I'm used to seeing the psychics on the TV, but when it happens to you, it's another thing.
Yes, I know. It's happened to me a couple of times with Mark. Yeah.
And so I said, yes, yellow rose. She said, "Well, that's not what I got." And I went, "What? We went all this way, and what?" And she said, "Look, somebody saw your thought, and they grabbed it and embellished it and sent it on to me." I said, "I don't understand." She said, "Somebody knew you were going to do this, and they want to get in on the act. And so they added something to it, and they sent it to me." I said, "Wait a minute, we talked about this thought stuff. And I have the impression," and people like to talk about quantum physics. We don't
Right.
really understand that,
Right.
so I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But thought is instantaneous at a distance.
Right.
No speed of light constant. It's instantaneous anywhere. And yeah, I'm in agreement with that. Okay. Because I've seen these psychic episodes, you read about those where the daughter's in Africa and the mother is in,
Sure.
North Dakota, and they have
Sure.
this connection.
And you have the connection. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, "Well, wait a minute. Who could take something that's that fast, that ethereal, and grab it and do something with it and send it on to you?" She said, "Some big guy." I said, "What do you mean, big guy?" She said, "JC, now, just a note for the show, I'm not the holy roller JC. God Almighty is coming down to kill everybody."
No, neither am I, by the way.
No. They're all like aunts and uncles.
A higher power actually intercepted it and embellished it.
But I'm not used to having this sort of conversation when it's addressing me. And so I said, "Wait a minute, you mean like JC, Jesus JC?" She said, "Uh-huh." And I can't put my arms around that. But there's a part
Jesus,
of me
you can put. I can wrap my arms around. Jesus did it. I mean, Jesus was a person. He's up in the other side, and he did,
that's a little close to home because there's a part of me that they're the people that jump up and down, "Thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus," and then there's this other part of me that goes, "Wait a minute, you mean Santa Claus really knows what you're doing?" Kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
what-
yeah, that's kind of creepy, right? I mean, when it's not really Santa Claus, but there, everybody really does know what how many people are in the room with us right now. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I ask you that question all the time, and the room's usually full, by the way. So I said, "Well, I still don't understand. What do you mean he embellished it?" She said, "What I'm looking at is a rose that's been dipped in gold,
Oh, how beautiful.
and it's all aglow."
Yeah.
And she said, "I had to play 800 psychic. I had to guess that there's yellow rose in there because all I see is this bright, golden, glowing object." So I would send her things and thought I did this for well over 15 years.
Oh, so you've known Judy for how many years total? And then we'll get on. We'll start to talk about the book more and manifesting and give some lessons to learn because the clock ticks really fast and the show just stops. So I really want to talk about all of. I want to give everybody the tools to make their life's desires, happen. So, so that's awesome that you learn that the power of thought actually could be manifested into something tangible. It can be manifested, by people who have this really remarkable ability, and that's a really beautiful thing. So, tell me, what compelled you to write the book, and how did and in the beginning of the book, and everybody, the book I'm talking about is Manifesting 123, and really, it's Ken Elliot has written this book, and he's giving you tools that allow you to basically manifest anything that you desire in your life. And we are in control of our own lives. And I am so grateful for being able to listen to the audio. I downloaded the audiobook off of audible.com. But Ken, let's get to what compelled you to write the book, because obviously you wanted to share. You wanted to be able to bring peace to probably other people, and thus you wrote this incredibly great book. I mean, I love it.
Well, not really. I was just fooling around.
Oh, okay. I was wrong. First time in my life, but I was wrong.
I was just playing this game. It was very entertaining. I might get a little bored, and I'd send Judy something. I'd call her up the next day to see if she got it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so a friend of mine, William Buhlman, Buhlman, is the premier out-of-body author, and he's a very good friend of mine. I was helping him get radio spots and a little light work with manuscripts way back. So we're good buddies. And he made an offhand remark one time. He said that sometimes I go to the other side and I see the things on my wish list arrayed, just lined up. I said, what do you mean? He said, and he makes lists. William makes lists. Guys don't make lists. William makes lists.
I don't make lists. I'm a really bad list maker.
Yeah. Well, join the club.
Yeah.
But he was very faithful about this, and he would call me and tell me what's on the list. It would all come true, and then he'd make another list and tell me what's on the list. He wanted to witness. And he made that statement that sometimes he goes the other side, and he can see the things on his list in various stages of formation. And I went, what do you mean? And he said, well, if I haven't been working on something for very long, there's this whiff of smoke. And right next to it is this thing I've been working on for maybe a month or so, or 6 weeks. And it's got this shape and a blush of color. And if I've been working on something longer or hard, or however it works,
yeah,
it will be fully formed, fully 3D, full color. And you can set your watch by it. It's coming over in a matter of days or a week. And I went, what?
So he gets notification that his thoughts are from the other side. He gets like this notification that okay, it's coming. It's going to be at your doorstep.
Yes. And he can see what he needs to work on more. And if there's something that he's been forgetting to touch, to put on his list, or however he was doing it, it would start to fade back into a vaporous form.
Oh, that's kind of cool. But that wouldn't be typical for everyone.
It is typical for everyone.
It is?
I want you to gather around the campfire.
Okay.
Get really, really close, because I'm going to tell you something.
Okay.
That's the key to the kingdom.
Okay.
And I'm just the messenger boy. This is not my book. But
okay.
My job is to get this to you and get it out to the world as quickly as possible. I'm not about the law of attraction. The law of attraction is a side effect of what I'm about to tell you.
Yes.
Before there were wish lists, before there were vision boards, before there were cameras and pencils, people were using sticks and rocks as tools. And they would think of things and invent things. They'd see a stick and they'd think of something, and it would come to them to maybe...
That's true. That's right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or they could use a stick to put a piece of meat over a fire once they figure out a fire. So they were inventing things. They were thinking of things, and these inventions would come to them, or they would put it together.
Right, and they would manifest it. They would design it, and
or they were vision board.
Yeah.
And I just got that insight today before I got on the show, just an hour ago, and I was talking to somebody else. So when you think of something, your thoughts immediately interact in the field around you, the unseen field around you, and it begins to make form.
And that can be crappy thoughts too. So people listening have to understand that,
Yeah,
you create your crappy life too, because your
that's
head
right.
is full of crappy thoughts.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now remember, I've been doing this for I don't know how many times, and I put together some things that I won't even discuss in public that Judy got. They were so outlandish and just off the charts, and she got them every time. And Judy wasn't the only one that I was targeting. Patty Conklin is also very, very gifted, and I sent one particular object to Patty that's way off the chart, and they both got the same thing.
So
And it,
so can we say that we understand that we are able to manifest what we want in our lives just purely by our intentions and our thoughts?
yes, that's what you're doing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
already expert at that.
Well, how do we do it though? I mean, everybody, I know how to do it now because I've listened to your book 3 times, and I'm going to listen to it even probably again. But I know how to do it. I know how to make my movie, right? And
Yeah.
you teach making your movie and
Well,
being in the perfect place and the perfect job with the perfect, but you give the tools. What I love about your book, Manifesting 123, is that it's so simple and easy. We all have busy lives, Ken, and we're all inundated with, always being connected and disconnected and social media and this and feeling like you need to do more and more and more. And then you wake up and you're 60. I often say, oh God, I'm 60. How'd that happen? And then
yeah.
you start wondering, what am I, where is the peace? Where is the contentment? Where is the fulfillment? And all along, and then it feels like it's getting worse and worse and worse. But all along, when you just relax and open up and you say, it's right in front of my eyes, I just have to create it with my thoughts, because you start to you get down on yourself, right? And you can't, it's like
Well,
the
yeah.
opponent's coming at you all the time, and you got to
Right.
push it away.
It's simple. Let me give you a beautiful analogy. All of my close friends are very, very grateful. We wake up grateful. Thank you, thank you. We don't even know who we're thanking. We're just thanking. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We just start that way. I've never met anyone who does this. You wake up and you go, oh, oh, where's air? God, somebody, where's the air? I need air. And you dive for a good pocket of air in the bedroom so you can get a breath. You wake up and you breathe. You never think to be grateful for the air. You can't see it. You can't taste it.
So are you saying it's because people just are ungrateful
Well,
that they have
point I want to
crap?
make is it's already in the field. It's there for us. It's a gift, and we it's okay to take it for granted. We can't live without it, and somehow we turn that into a fuel, an electrical current, whatever you want to call it. That air animates us, or keeps us alive anyway.
Well,
And
sorry.
and manifesting, your thoughts are interacting with something in the field, and it will make anything you think, and everything that's ever been invented on this planet was a puff of smoke first. And you continue to think of it. And what are you doing when you make a vision board? You go look at that thing. You make a wish list. You touch it. You touch it. You touch it.
So can I
And
say what a vision board is?
yeah,
A vision board is basically you would make actually a board, right? And you would put like the place you want to be on vacation, the place, that kind of house maybe you want to own someday, the beautiful backyard, the whatever it might be. It's like your wish list in a
yes.
way, right?
So what did they do? They kept coming back to that thought. And it was a fairly focused thought. It is that picture, or it is that one item on the wish list. And then there's another, and there's another. And all they're doing is they're making layer after layer after layer of intention.
Right.
What makes this information that's coming at you so vitally important is this. What we've been doing is the equivalent of, and all the manifesting books, you just stack them up to the ceiling, they're all on the right track. I support every one of them because they're getting people to ask. They're getting people to try to, clear themselves and figure out what they want. I don't like to use the word want. Figure out what they desire and go for it. So it's the equivalent of this. There's that light switch on the wall, and we're going to petition that light switch. We're going to put sticky notes around it. We're going to put vision boards around it. We're going to do all these things to increase the likelihood that when we hit the switch, the lights will come on. Well, that's a ridiculous notion to us because we know it's hooked up to the power plant. So what I'm bringing to you today, little old Ken here, I'm just a messenger boy, I have observed, I've had this firsthand for 20 years, your thoughts build, react to the field around you, and they make everything in your life. They make
So
everything in your life.
for anybody listening or watching, there's you can go to manifesting123.com and you can read more about Ken. We're going to, and also when we come back, we're going to cut to a really quick commercial for about 1 minute in about 1 minute. But when we come back, I would really love to, I want to focus on giving our listeners and viewers three tools. You know, I want to talk a little bit about the movie. Because the title of this show, I named this show Manifesting the Movie.
Okay.
Which I thought was funny. And so that people can walk away with understanding that, okay, you know, it's great to say that if I think about it hard enough, that this is what's going to happen in my life, it's going to be great. And if I have good intention, then everything is going to be wonderful in my life. And then, bam, I get hit by a car. You know, so there has to be something that everyone can really, the simplicity of your book is what I love about it. And I want to share, you know, 3 simple tools and talk about the movie when we get back so that everybody has a takeaway from the show and they can start to realize a more fulfilled life for themselves. So we'll be back after a couple of minutes with Ken and Elliot.
In an average lifetime, 1,500,000 minutes are spent on the toilet. So what's the problem?
When you sit on a toilet, you're at a 90-degree angle.
Nature didn't want us to do it that way.
This causes pushing, straining, hemorrhoids.
That's crazy.
We want to create a product that is great for humanity.
Well, go time just got easier. Introducing Easy Go Pro, the only way to go.
Anatomically, we were designed to eliminate at a 35-degree angle.
You just sit, lift, and go in a natural position.
The benefits list is this long from a pure health perspective.
A healthy colon is encouraged by doctors for all ages.
The key to vitality, it's the key to longevity, it's the key to your health.
Be a healthy goer. Order now at EasyGoPro.com. Try it for 70 days. If you don't absolutely feel better, just send it back for a full product refund. Go time just got healthier at EasyGoPro.com.
Hey, everybody, we're back. You're watching or listening to Living Unfiltered with Wendi Cooper, and my guest tonight is Ken Elliot. He is the author of Manifesting 123, and that is our topic tonight of the show. And he is actually an incredible artist, a very successful artist, and you can find his art, I believe, at kenelliot.com.
That's correct. 2 L's and 2 T's.
That's right. And it's just beautiful. I love your art. My son's an artist, by the way. So, and he actually is making a living at 24 years old with his art. So it's like, I love it. Well, Ken, okay, so we're back and we're discussing the book Manifesting 123, which is really the simplest and easiest way. You've come up with the tools to give someone a way to manifest everything that they desire in their life so that they can actually live a perfect life.
Well, as perfect as we can have it. And let me give you the disclaimers. We have, I ascribe to the idea that we have destiny. We have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
There are people we're going to meet.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have that certain kind of teacher. It might be Harry, it might be Mike, it might be June, whoever it is, but we're going to meet these certain types of people and get these course corrections. We're going to have issues.
Sure.
And that's all part of the school, or however you want to rationalize it. So there are things that are going to be bad, and there's things that are going to be good. And how many times have we gone through something that was really awful, and we had so much growth as an individual with those things?
Right.
And it was the best thing that could have ever happened to us.
That's
and
a process,
we're
right?
all going to die of something.
Yes.
And nobody gets out of this world without pain. It's all part of the drill. So if you say we have this box of here's our life plan, there is a portion of that that's scripted. You know, we're going to have part of that we're just going to be doing. But that leaves a lot of other free space.
Mm-hmm.
We can live comfortably. We can be happy. We can be miserable. We can subsume ourselves in one or three or four issues. We can go off the rails. But in the end, we have a lot of free choice, a lot of territory where we can choose what we want. There's that word want. I use it all the time. When you're manifesting, and I'll get right into it, but I'll give you this little bit of information first. I've been to the other side plenty of times. If I say I want something, it will happen immediately. If it's just me, I can't tell that temple that it has to be green aqua. No, because there's a lot of intention wrapped up in somebody else's construct.
Yeah.
But if I wanted a piece of paper, boom, have a piece of paper instantly over there. If it's green, boom, it's green. If I want a piece of paper in Madrid, I'm in Madrid with this piece of paper.
Yes.
It's instantaneous. And it is incredibly literal. Your thoughts are a command. You don't have to say, can somebody please send me a piece of paper? No, piece of paper, Madrid, and you're there.
Once upon a time, and a few years ago, I was at a spiritual place, and I was taking a class or learning or listening to someone speak, and they said that, and I thought it was really interesting. They were basically talking about the power of thought, right? And that when you close your eyes and you imagine yourself at a beach and your feet in the sand, you're actually there. You're there. Your physical self is not, but because your thoughts are at the beach with the ocean and the sand. That's why meditation, I suppose, is so powerful when you do the guided meditation. And we lost some light. And they say, imagine walking through the brook with the water and the trickling and the this and the dew and the butterflies or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Because the power of thought really is really where you are.
Well, you can actually project yourself there, but for the purposes of this book, what you're doing is you're creating that future. And your thoughts, and I'm getting ahead of myself, your thoughts can create the future. So coming to the movie, this book is too simple to be true. It's like breathing. You just breathe. And when you think of things, I can't stress this enough, my friends can watch your thoughts forming up in real time. Now, if you're thinking about white elephants, you're afraid that you're daydreaming, this and that, don't give another thought. You're not going to sit down.
Hello?
I lost Ken. We lost Ken.
Hello?
Oh, hi. Hi there. You know what? Who's this?
I'm calling in for the interview.
Yeah. Who's calling? We lost the.
My name is.
Okay, hold on one second.
My name is Michelle.
Oh, okay. We answered your call, but we lost our guest.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think, Kurt, are we going to be able to have both on the line?
No, I hit add to group call, but it got rid of him for some reason. Maybe
Yeah.
because she's not a video.
Maybe
Let me check.
because she's not on video or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, caller, while you're on, can the caller be talking for real quick? Ken, we are so sorry if you can hear us. We're trying to get you back. Yeah, I know. I'm talking to somebody who probably can't hear me, and you can hear me, but I can't see you.
Oh,
and
okay.
We might have to lose you to get Ken back. Is that true? Yeah. Yes, we're going to have to hang up. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Bye. Okay, Ken, we're coming back. We're coming for you. Come for. Anyway, we are watching. You're watching. Oh, there you are. I see you. You're back. Okay. We tried to patch a caller in. There was a caller, and
Okay.
we lost you and got her, and then we had to go to her in order to get you back. So here we are. We're back. Anyway,
Well,
sorry for the interruption.
Your thoughts work whether you believe it or not. Gravity operates whether you believe it or not. Your breathing operates whether you believe it or not. So this is so exquisitely simple. It's too good to be true, but it is one of the greatest gifts that we have, that and making children. We can create anything, good or bad, so-called good or bad. So when I put this book together, well, and here's what prompted me to do the book. I saw the movie The Secret.
Right.
Okay. And there's a lot of people on there, highly respected people, who've been talking about manifesting for almost their entire careers. Right. And I saw that, and I went, oh my God, I know what they're talking about, but they don't know how this works.
Right.
It's all best practices. Let's petition the light switch. We don't know it's really hooked up to the power plant. As soon as you hit, it's going to come on. It's all best practices. Well, this is the new deal. It, as soon as you think it, it starts to form. And now that you know that, you're free from begging and wishing and hoping. It's just a matter of coming back to that and touching that again and again and again, as everyone's been saying. But now you know how it works, and that's a game changer.
Can
That
you
is a
can
total
you
game
give us
changer.
some examples of the movie? I mean, we create our movie,
Mhm.
and then give us some, just a few hints, because everyone, if you, you'll get the full impact of what Ken is talking about and everything that the tools that he gives you to manifest things in his book Manifest 123. And it's very simple, and I think it's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think, on audio. I mean, I listened to it.
Something like that.
It's
Mhm.
about 2.5 hours. And what's really wonderful is you not only you get a lot of this backstory that Ken's talking to you about, but then he really dives in and he gives you the tools on how to create your movie and how to create your perfect future. And then you also give examples, and you read letters of what had happened to people who followed the system. And it's really not even a system. It's really it's so easy. So without any
Yeah.
more talking about it, I want you to talk about it and give people tools so that they can
Okay.
buy your book or to find out more, but also start their movie and their perfect future.
Right. Now, some of you are going to go online and you're going to download that book. There is another version coming out November the 1st, and it's already online. I just haven't announced it. It has a cover that looks like that color right there.
Which one? Where?
It's a new cover,
Uh-huh.
and
Are you
and
holding
it has
something
an
up?
expanded forward, so I can better describe how important this is, and a few more stories. But if you go to manifesting123.com,
Yeah.
there's over 100 stories, and there's a new story coming out of my newsletter every Friday. Sign up for that newsletter. So readers are having these results, and we put them up in the newsletter, and you get on the
Oh,
on
cool.
the list. We'll send them out to you every Friday.
Yeah.
So when I put this book together, once I saw what was going on with the secret, oh my God, I have something that really needs to be put out there, because we're all sort of walking around in the dark. We have an idea, but we really don't know how this works. And I became the fool on the hill that was playing around with this for 20 years, and I got it. And it's time to put this out. So I put this in the simplest terms. I call the number one of 123 the movie. We're all good at seeing a movie. We don't ever come out of a movie and say, "Oh, I totally flunked watching the movie. What was I thinking?" We can do a movie, and your thoughts can make the future. That's a huge thing to know, and that's been out there. There's other people talk about that. Andy Dooley, Mike Dooley, they do really well with that. Hammer away at that thing, and that is. So what I do is I imagine I'm in my movie. I'm in my future. I have different scenes in my future.
In your future,
A
which
lot
is
of
which
things-
is key, which is very key to the success of this, is you're in your future.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of things take place on my couch. I'm in the future, and I'm sitting on my couch. Wherever I go, that couch goes with me, and I'm rubbing that couch. I can physically rub that couch, and I can breathe the air in my future. And I observe, now that I'm in my future, I observe that I have perfect health.
Mm-hmm.
And here's that thing again. Remember the head and then send it out,
Through
the
your
heart.
heart.
Judy was talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
I have perfect health, and I'm so grateful. And I allow a little time for that gratitude. I might feel it, just a tinge or a lot. Usually I don't feel it because I do it every day. But I let it just flow, and then I go into the next scene. In the next scene, it might be I'm in my future, and my family's not dysfunctional, but I could say I'm in my future, and my family, wow, I just observed them hanging out and watching a movie. It's no special occasion. Everybody's getting along. That's really wonderful. I just love this family scene. I'm so very grateful. I didn't say how it happened. I'm just in the future, and it has occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful for that. What happens when you add gratitude? You're taking one of the two great powers, love or fear, and you're injecting that into your movie. This is a weaker force, but it's the target. And then when you put love or gratitude into that, it is the accelerator. And it is very powerful, and it makes things happen faster.
So you can do things like, because I know most people listening probably want to be filthy rich, have the biggest house on the block, and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Be
but
filthy and rich,
you
yeah.
can be filthy and rich. You can be anything you want in your movie because it's your movie. It's
Yes.
your future.
Yes, you can build that.
Right.
So
It doesn't have to be about other people, or because you mentioned in the book that a lot of people, they don't ask for things that they actually desire in their life. They think as though, they feel as though they have to say, well, I want my son to be happy and have healthy children, and I want, my husband to be healthy and not be in pain or whatever, but they don't focus on themselves. And this is the time when you could possibly, because if you're happy and content, then everything else around you changes, right?
well, you can't take your son's calculus test.
Right.
You can't run your husband's 100-yard dash. But you can have an influence in the field around them.
Right.
That maybe all is well, and that it's the best possible place for them, but you can't walk their walk. It's common. It's the norm for people that will ask for everyone else but not for themselves. And that's a common conversation I have with people, and I'll just blurt out, well, you're not worthy. And I always have to smile, but they feel that. They'll ask and ask and ask for other people but not for themselves. I don't care if you use this book, if you use voodoo dolls, whatever you do, pray about it, ask, please ask. And I'm very much about prayer. I haven't had a grand tour of the prayer department, but they're on the job and they hear you the first time. But you are allowed to make things on your own. And people talk about the universe and all of that. Well, when you think of something, it starts forming up immediately. So I put things in the movie. It's very simple. Now, the number 2 is fear. A thought will make anything, and it doesn't judge if it's a so-called good thought or a so-called bad thought.
Right.
So if you fear not getting the bills paid, I've got badges on that one, then you can create that. If you worry that you can't make that payment and you load it up with fear, then that thought is being made as quickly and as efficiently as it possibly can be done. It doesn't care what you're going to do with the thought. It will just make it for you. That's
It'll
your
just
gift.
make that happen, right? You won't pay that bill.
So all you have to do is, and if you want to really make it efficient, just charge it up with love or fear, and it'll just take off. And my friends can watch this happen quite quickly. And sometimes it'll take years. Sometimes it takes minutes. And so with the fear, and I was given this, everything in this book was either taught to me or it was a download. And this number 2, this thing about fear, was a complete download. Because I got the perfect house, and now the bills are coming due, and I was scared to death, and I got this download. And what I got was this phrase, which made no sense to me when it came in. Turn your worries into action items. What? Turn your worries into action items. And then the rest of the paragraph came through, and it was this. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're worried about that car payment. Now, at 3 o'clock in the morning, you can actually do something. You can worry and target that, not making that car payment, and you can make it happen that you won't make the payment. You can't afford to create that way. So let's take action on that lack of money. So you grab your smartphone or piece of paper, and you write down or put it in the phone, 9 o'clock, you make a reminder, you're going to go in and see the boss and ask for a raise. Oh, boy. Ooh, gives me the creeps to think about that. But, you'll try to find out how you can be a benefit to the company, this and that. Number 1. Number 2, at lunch, you'll call some mentors. Maybe they can help you in your career path. Maybe they can come up with some gleaming thing you can do where you are that would make you more valuable to the company. You make another appointment to yourself when you go home. You'll contact some people that owe you money. Well, if they had it, they'd probably pay it, but you're going to take action on this lack of money. So you've got 3 items there. You can think of others. And then every day, you take a little time, and let me tell you, doing this movie is the most important thing you can do. It is the shortcut to making good things happen in your lives and to eliminate those things that you don't desire. So you've done these things. You're taking action on these concerns. I'm calling them. I've downgraded those worries, and you go into your future every day. There's nothing else you can do. Well, and you pray, and they heard you the first time. You do the movie once a day. If I tell you to do it 3 times a day, you'll never leave the house. You'll do the movie all day long. So once you do the movie and you take action on these concerns, you're all over it. You're all over it.
Well, can I ask you a question? I hate to interrupt, but I have to ask you this. Isn't that normal? I mean, when you can't pay your bills, let's say you can't pay your bills and you're at 3:00 in the morning and you're worrying about it, and of course you're worrying about it because that's just kind of normal. And if you take those worry thoughts or those thoughts that have fear in them and you turn them around into, oh, well, I can't really do anything about it right now. It's 3:00 in the freaking morning. So I might as well get a good night's sleep and be grateful that I'm waking up in the morning. And when I get up in the morning, then sure, obviously what you're doing isn't working for you, so you have to change something. So I would think that of course we have to change our actions, because actions are the only thing that's really going to change the fact that we're afraid of the bill we got to pay.
A lot of things we do that are normal that could deserve a shift or a tweak. This is not a normal book.
No, this is not a normal book, and I think I'm excited about the book because I feel as though it has remarkable tools in it for anyone. And I love the fact that you named it Manifesting 1, 2, 3, because for me, I'm a marketing professional. For me, the 1, 2, 3, it means easy as 1, 2, 3. We use it all the time, right?
Yeah.
So it means it's easy. And it really, really, really is easy. So, what you're going to do is you're going to get this book. You're going to learn all about Canon. You're going to learn all about the people who have had success using the tools in Manifesting 1, 2, 3. And you're going to learn how to properly create your movie. And it's simple. It's really easy. And your movie is your movie. But can you give these remarkable and very specific ways and very simple ways of being okay with saying, I'm in my perfect world, I'm in my future, I'm in my perfect home, I'm with my perfect partner. And I like when you said, my perfect partner doesn't have to be anybody. I could be my own perfect partner, right?
Yes.
You know?
That's right. So, and there's no ego in it. So far, I am my own perfect partner. And here's a funny thing that happens when you go into the future. And on that note, I woke up one morning and I was more happy than before. I'm already happy, but I'm kind of, I'm just so happy it just makes people sick. I'm really, really happy. I woke up one morning and I was happier. And I walked a few steps in the kitchen and went, oh my God, I get how these people can live on their own and they're happy. I'll never be lonely. I'm fine. I'm good to go on my own. I woke up with it. It was a side effect of my going into the future day after day after day, and I'm in this place where I'm happy. I have a businessman who called me when he got to the office. He said, I woke up and I didn't have the stress. It's a high-stress, multi-million-dollar sort of package job.
Yeah.
He said, I've still got the same junk coming at me at the office all day long, but something happened in the middle of the night and I woke up, and this less stress thing is permanent. And people are waking up with these side effects of things they didn't even ask about or envision in their movie, but it was happiness. It all comes down to happiness.
Yeah, I was talking to you last night just briefly. We had a short conversation, and I think I'm very open on my radio show, and for I think I was telling you that for the past few months I've been feeling just overwhelmed and inundated and a little bit lost, and I have so many things that are so great and so many things that are not so great, and then so many thoughts are I create it myself, but wait a minute, I don't have time to do anything else, and all the voices and all the crap that's throwing at you all the time. And I told you, I said, I saw Marianne Pestana, right? I just see her on social media all the time. And so one day I just said, hey, I love the way you post stuff. That's all I said. And so we kind of hooked up. And then she hooked me up with you. And you're on my show. And I'm sure that, and now I read the book. And I have to be completely honest and tell you that it has already changed my life in just the past 48 hours. And I'm serious when I say that.
Yeah. And and I'm going to say I'm just shocked.
No, you're not.
No, but I'm still amazed by this. I'm still amazed by this, and I get to play smart aleck because you did ask for something, and you got a result. Now it might have been my book, it might have been something else, it could have been something you saw in a movie, but you got something that put the shift in. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was in a jam financially, and I'm getting tangled up in this thing. It's a big concern, right? And a man calls me. I'm working on that. I don't have these financial concerns, this month-to-month stuff, but I'm looking at that. And a man calls me who's bought some of my work before, some small things. He said, one of your pictures fell off the wall. Can I bring it over and get it fixed? And I said, sure. It broke the frame. So I saw it. The wire on the back is fine. I said, why did this fall off the wall? He said, the nail broke. I said, nails don't. I've been in the business since I was 18 years old. I've never had a nail break and a picture fell to the wall, unless it's an earthquake or something. And he's back there in my shop, and he said, I love that painting. I just finished it the day before. I'd like to buy that painting.
Yeah.
And he did, because his nail broke. The picture fell down, and he comes in and buys a painting. Otherwise, he would never be in the house.
Yeah.
And you know what? I had a big fat credit card bill, and when it was all said and done, I had $5.78 left over, and it was a multi-$1,000 credit card bill.
That's great. See?
Because
Did you give thanks to that nail?
Yeah, go figure the odds on that one, huh?
Well, life is like that, and there's also, because we have to wrap it up, there's also a little section in the book where you talk about being open. And I had an experience. Mark Anthony, who I love dearly, he connected with someone on the other side for me who had a message for my brother, and the message really was, and it was so beautiful because he had lost his son when he was very young. Was that Tommy was really just saying, Peter, open up and let me in, because my brother was so closed about losing him.
Right.
And I saw my brother the other day, and it was so remarkable. I hadn't seen him since I delivered this message from his deceased son from the other side, right?
A long distance call.
And it was the most difficult thing in the world for me to do. Thank you very much, Mark Anthony, for doing that to me. But I did it. And I saw my brother the other day, last weekend, and he looked more handsome than he has looked in years. He was fit, he was smiling, and he was because he opened up. Somebody delivered a message that was so important to deliver to him, and it really changed his life, and it was really beautiful. And that message came from the other side through someone who was connected and to me, and it was such an honor and so beautiful. So I completely
I'd like to leave you with a couple things quickly. If I may. I'm sort of the anti everything you might think, I guess. You don't have to be open. You don't have to understand this. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to be talented or gifted or special. You're already doing it.
Yes.
You're already doing it. And
Right.
here's a tip. Even if you don't use the manifesting concepts, and they're totally simple, I want you to think, please, I'll offer this kindly, think of 7 grateful things every day.
Yeah.
Judy Goodman gave me this. If you want to watch doors open, just say, I'm so grateful for my health. I'm so grateful that I have a place to live. I'm so grateful that I had a great love, years ago. I'm so grateful that I had that wonderful experience in Europe 5 years ago. You can be grateful for things in the past and things right now.
Just be
It
grateful.
will clear a path for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'll open it that way. You don't have to be open. That will clear a path for you.
So the key is here, Kurt, is just be grateful, damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
Be grateful or else.
Well, Ken, we've got to wrap it up. And thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're in a different time zone, only about an hour, but it does get late. And I'd love to have you back someday. And I do definitely want to talk to you some more about my movie. And thank you, really, thank you so much for being here. Anybody who wants to get the book, it's on Amazon, right? Yes,
Amazon. There audio downloads everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go to my website. I'll send you autographed copies if you go to my website.
You even do private sessions, right? I think I saw on your website you do private sessions.
2-hour private session. You're going to come away with a script, a very discreet script.
Of your movie.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
your movie. You go to work on it.
Yeah.
And people, well, I won't even go into it.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Things happen. Good things happen.
Yeah, I'm a believer, and I'm going to create my movie, and I am going to rock the world.
Yes.
I'm going to rock the world. I'm going to tell you, I feel it in my bones. It's going to be a great, great rest of my life. I'm not even going to say good year. It's going to be a great rest of my life.
And it's building as you say.
Well, thank you for being here, and everyone listening and watching, thank you for watching. Caller, if you're still watching, I am so sorry, but I think you can, if you have a question for Ken, you probably can send that to him through his website, Manifesting123. So anyway, with that, I have to say good night, and I will see everybody in a couple of weeks when I get back from Las Vegas. Thank you for watching and listening. Good night, Ken.
Thank you, Wendy. Good night.
Good night. Well, it's time to wrap up another great hour of Living Unfiltered here at ubnradio.com. We'd love to hear from you. So if you have a topic you'd like us to discuss, or you want to be a guest on our show, you can reach us at livingunfiltered@gmail.com. And since we're right here in the heart of Hollywood at Sunset Gower Studios, that's like saying, have your people call my people.